Hello, everybody. This is Joshua Phillips for Living Reason. The brief thought for today: I think we all need to stop arguing with the worst people we can find on the internet. So, a lot of people, and I think I fall for this often, we fall into this pattern where if we're looking at political content or anything that gets controversial in whatever way nowadays, we fall into this bad pattern where we find the just worst people or the people we disagree with the most thoroughly and who seem completely uninterested in a conversation, and we just fall into shouting slogans at each other or quoting talking points at each other, whatever variation of that. And as a callback to my previous video, Hyperbole is Destroying America, I'm not going to say that's ending civilization or that all human discourse is breaking down because we get in bad arguments with trolls on YouTube too much, but I do think there's a few things wrong when we fall into the trap of finding the worst, least engaging or honest people and fighting with them. So one, I just don't think there's a shortage of that content on the internet. You know, if you're going online and trying to think about a political or social issue, there's already as much dumb people yelling at each other as you could possibly want. Right? You can find that. You just scroll down through the comments or put the most downvoted comments top. You can read as much people yelling at each other as you could possibly imagine. So, like with this channel, I don't want to be contributing to something that's already completely oversaturated and that doesn't really seem to help people. So one, I just think it's useless. Two, if you focus on or engage with too frequently the worst people that are in disagreement with you, I think there's a few psychological things that can go kind of bad. One, within that, it's very easy to start dehumanizing people and start thinking, you know, everyone who disagrees with me is just a drooling idiot. Everyone who disagrees with me is trying to destroy civilization. You know, there's no other possible explanation. It couldn't be that their experience has led them to different conclusions. It couldn't be that I'm wrong. It's that everyone who disagrees with me is an idiot, and I'm sure because I've been arguing with people who actually are idiots all day. So it's really easy to end up, sort of hurting your own thinking on issues if the benchmark you're trying to beat is, I found some guy who's just really inarticulate and probably a troll, and I'm going to prove I can beat him in an argument. And I think that can just lead to thinking that everyone who disagrees with you is that guy. And finally, and this can apply to more than just arguing with the worst people. It can also apply to sort of not engaging in general. I think one of the problems that I've run into personally and that I see a lot is when people argue politics or argue a lot of things, is that when you just get into, shouting talking points at each other, or we each have really catchy sounding things that maybe could fit on a nice bumper sticker about economics or about politics, human psychology, whatever, that once you have these great bumper stickers, they're really good go-tos, You can sound really snappy and really well prepared and really educated on an issue because you've got a few sayings that are interesting. They might even, when properly fleshed out, be generally correct observations. But I think when we start doing bumper stickers, it's really easy for the condensing of an idea to replace the actual development of the idea. If you want to argue, just to pick a position, right? If you want to argue that market forces, the free markets should be the things we try to make more situations like, right? If you think the economy should be more free market driven, you think we should be more willing to question the assumption that putting the government in charge of things will make them better. If you want to argue that we should go down that line of thinking, that's fine. And you might be right, you might be wrong. I think, right, that's the argument. But what I think happens, right, is everyone has quite seen, very frequently discussions of economics have devolved into, in some cases, two camps. There's the libertarian camp that will scream taxation is theft, And there's the socialist camp that will point out, bad things that exist and we think the government could fix them. We'll just put the government in charge of them. And that's not obviously the intelligent discussions, right? That's not to say there aren't intelligent people on both sides of that one, or on many different sides on many different issues. It's to say that it's very easy, I think, to fall into the trap of my position sounds clever, it's really snappy, I have some great comebacks ready for whatever anyone says about why I'm wrong, I'm prepared. And you've never actually developed your thinking on the issue, right? You've not thought about whether, maybe the guy I'm talking to is wrong, but is his position wrong, or is it just that he's not very good at defending it, If I tried to argue his position, could I do a better job than him? And so that's my thought for the day. Thank you, everybody, for watching. As usual, if you like the videos, please like, subscribe, share. I really appreciate any sharing of the videos around. And the takeaway for the day, let's try to argue intelligently, argue at length, and develop our thinking. Let's not just yell at each other like idiots. Have a nice day.